Guys, aliens might be real. But before we get into that, my name is Isaac, and every day on this channel, we go through everything Trump talked about on Truth Social over the last 24 hours. Okay, so to start today off with a banger, Donald Trump posts, based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and all other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. And this was quoted by the White House, and Trump reposted that. And in some other ridiculously crazy news, Donald Trump says the world will find out about whether conflict will break out with Iran in the next 10 days. And that was from a peace summit that he did. And in regard to this meeting that he just had, the White House says, with determined leadership, nothing is impossible. They quoted Trump, who said, "This meeting today is proof. With determined leadership, nothing is impossible." When I took office, the war in Gaza was raging. The war in Gaza is over. And Trump reposts that, as well as this from the White House, which shows world leaders and founding members of the Board of Peace gathering for the inaugural meeting at the Donald J. Trump Institute of Peace. And here are all the members. Some notable ones: there's Susie Wiles, there's Jared Kushner, Viktor Orban, Javier Milei, and either this guy is super tall or he's standing on an elevated platform, but he looks like he's like 7 feet tall. And Trump says what we're doing is very simple. It's peace.
What we're doing is very simple. Peace. It's called the Board of Peace, and it's all about an easy word to say, but a hard word to produce. Peace. But we're going to produce it. Today is a tremendous honor to welcome you all to the United States Institute of Peace for the inaugural meeting of the Board of Peace. Very important. I believe it's the most consequential board.
And moving on to domestic policy, Trump says, "I only want Americans to vote in American elections." And the White House yells, "Pass the Save America Act!" And Trump reposted that. Trump goes on to say, "We are going to have the Save America Act one way or the other, filibuster, or at minimum by a talking filibuster, a la Mr. Smith Goes to Washington." That's a Mr. Smith Goes to Washington reference. And the Save America Act will be passed. It'll require all voters to show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. There's going to be no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. And guys, Donald Trump is the people's president. I thought this was Chick-fil-A at first, but I think it's a hot dog place he visited. Okay, it's the Varsity in Rome, Georgia. And Donald Trump is delivering for hard-working American patriots with no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. You can see him here. He looks delighted, having a great time mingling with everybody. And I wanted to show you guys a short video of Donald Trump working the cash register and hanging out with everybody because the vibes are just so good.
45 years.
Yes, 24 years.
You look too young for that. Come on, wait. I'll get over and take a picture. Come on, I'll get over. Let's get a good one.
That's my president right there. Come on.
Come on. Hold on, the cash register.
Okay, everyone, and a 3, 2, 1. Everyone, thumbs up.
Yes.
And so the White House says, "This president hears you. This president cares for you." And Trump reposted that. And we saw yesterday Donald Trump hosted a Black History Month event at the White House. This comes out of that. This is a Texas mom thanking President Trump for school choice. She says, "My son was in a school where he didn't have any voice. He found drugs there, and he died. I'm here today to show my appreciation. School choice is so important to mothers. I had a choice with my daughter. She's in private school and thriving." And Trump reposted that. And this isn't quite as exciting as aliens, but Donald Trump just left the Cusco steel plant in Rome, Georgia, which we just talked about. And he says it's now working 24 hours around the clock, after it was down to just 1 hour a year ago. It is like that up and down throughout the country. Companies are thriving because of tariffs. The United States of America has taken in hundreds of billions of dollars and quadrupled at least national security as a result of the economy saving tariffs. And Trump also calls out the great people of East Palestine, Ohio, who were disgracefully betrayed and forgotten about by crooked Joe Biden. Trump has never forgotten about you and never will. In addition to our administration's long-term health study for the benefit of the residents, we are providing $10 million through the Economic Development Administration to help the community continue its economic recovery from the disastrous train derailment. I see East Palestine grow flourish and be able to take advantage of our new booming economy. It was horrible what was allowed to happen there, and we are with you for the long haul. Make America great again. And guys, the Commission of Fine Arts just approved unanimously 6-0 the White House Ballroom. Trump says great accolades were paid to the building's beauty and scale. Thank you to the members of this commission, President DJT. And so now the White House Ballroom actually has approval and will begin construction. Trump calls it the greatest ballroom to be built, and he shows a picture of it once again. So feast your eyes, folks. And if you've been following this channel over the last couple weeks, you guys would know about the toxic river spill in the Potomac. Trump references this today, saying Governor Westmore of Maryland must get the toxic river spill fixed immediately. The Democrats constantly talk about environmental pollution and protection, and yet they think it's okay to have hundreds of thousands of gallons a day of sewage pouring into our beautiful Potomac River because they failed to maintain and monitor their own public systems. The governors of Virginia and Maryland must get moving quickly. If they can't do the job, all they have to do is call, be polite and respectful, and the federal government will handle it and bill them for their services rendered at a later date. Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., has politely asked that I get involved, so the federal government will do that from the DC standpoint. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sorry to bounce around like this, but the White House says we are so back. Red, white, and blue running through our veins. Referencing the Winter Olympics, which just won gold medals. Woo! And let's take a look at what Donald Trump posted about Hillary Clinton today. He praises the Czech deputy, saying, great job in your debate against Hillary Clinton on various subjects, including her ridiculous view on gender. So it's a pretty short clip. Let's take a look.
We saw the woke revolution. I don't agree with the gender revolution, the climate alarmism.
Which gender? Women having their rights?
Let Peter go on. I think there are two genders. So, but some of us think that there is more than one or more than two gender. I think there is male and female, and the rest probably is a social construct. So this is something that went too far.
But does that justify selling out the people of Ukraine who are on the front lines dying to save their freedom and their two genders, if that's what you're worried about?
Can I please finish my points? I'm sorry that it makes you nervous. I'm really sorry for that.
And to finish off the video, Trump appoints some justices, so he nominates Justin Smith, as well as Tony Powell and Jeffrey Kuhlman to serve as judges on the United States District Courts. And that was everything Trump talked about today. Apparently aliens are real, and we're gonna all see that very soon. Also, he gave Iran a 10-day deadline to come to the table. And it was the first meeting of the Institute of Peace. That was everything Trump talked about today. As always, if you guys want to support the channel, consider subscribing, trying to get to 1,000. Be awesome if we could do it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.